I'm Dave Abrams.
And I'm Kristen Legata. Welcome to Anne Arundel County Year in Review. Dave, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well.
This is our special annual episode where we're counting down the biggest stories of 2017 as we usher in 2018. Now, are you ready?
Let's do this.
All right. Before we get to the important stuff that happened locally, I'm going to give you a brief list of my top 10 stories nationally in no particular order.
Okay.
Donald Trump becomes 45th president. And Did we ever figure out what covfefe is?
It's like this show is pure covfefe.
Covfefe,
I don't know, you just kind of
I've learned some new words this year.
Covfefe fits with anything.
Yes, I like it. Okay, Patriots win the Super Bowl again.
Again. Ravens don't win.
Yeah. We had the Women's March in D.C., and it also sprouted a couple other women's marches internationally, so that was a huge movement.
Exactly.
What else did we have?
What else you got?
The fidget spinners.
Fidget spinners.
Spinners.
What a big story.
Keeps on spinning.
They're still spinning.
Kids
still like them. I don't know why.
I don't know, but whatever.
It may be the most inexplainable top story of the year.
I'm not going to lie, I have a fidget spinner.
Of course you do.
Of course
Actually, I do too.
See?
I do.
So sadly...
It was a free gift.
Yeah, oh, there you go.
So.
Sadly, like 2016, we also had some musician deaths and some other big celebrity deaths. This year, we lost Chris Cornell, Tom Petty, Chester Bennington, and Hugh Hefner. So that was big losses. The Confederate monuments coming down.
Yes.
That was a huge story.
Including one in Maryland.
That's right.
No, more than one in Maryland. There was some in Baltimore City.
Yep.
And there was the one at the State House.
Yeah, so that was huge. We had a horrible year with hurricanes. We had Irma, we had Harvey and Maria.
Yep.
And finally,
and all her sisters.
And all the sisters. And finally, and this was a huge movement as well. And one of the top, actually, it's the top story that Time Magazine is saying is #1 for 2017. #MeToo.
Yeah.
So
big deal. And that one continues to go just like the fidget spinner.
Exactly.
But it's much more important.
Much more important than a fidget spinner. So.
Well, that's a pretty strong list, Kristen.
Thank you.
Now, isn't it interesting that a couple of dozen of the biggest stories of the year were related to Donald Trump?
Yes.
So it makes me wonder, were those really the biggest stories, or does the media just cover Donald Trump way too much? Like, I think we've been conditioned to think that all these things, the travel ban and all the stuff, like every day there's a big story, and it's like, I think we're being force-fed this stuff, and it's really not the biggest stories. I mean, when you look at the list that you just went through, we purposefully stayed away from like every Trump story of every day. There was some big stuff.
There's some big stuff, and you know what? I forgot two.
Which ones?
California wildfires, which still remains to be an issue.
Correct.
And also we had, I had another one. California wildfires.
On the big list?
I know, I'm looking at my list right now.
Don't go into your entertainment list. We're not there yet.
I'm not at the entertainment list. I know I had California wildfires. That was a big one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there were many other things to choose from.
There were.
It was a very busy year.
Yeah, it was.
So with that, let's go to the big stuff, the important stuff, the top 10 stories in Anne Arundel County.
Yes.
And I will start with number 10.
A very good place to start.
We call this one, let's start off with a happy story. We call this one Local Boys Made Good.
I like it.
Whiskey on the beer, playing the beer on the whiskey, playing the morning on the night for who's lying beer with me. Playing the ball for the band for the song for the party that went all night long. But it ain't my fault.
John and TJ Osborne brought home the Best New Duo Award for the second straight year, as well as 2 Grammy nominations. The brothers got their start at get-togethers at their home in Deal, where locals and Waterman would host all-night jam sessions filled with the sounds of Bob Seger, Hank Williams, Tom Petty, and George Jones, according to their website.
It's a good playlist.
I know.
It's a really good playlist.
I wish I was at those.
I know.
I don't get down to Deal enough, The Osborne siblings strummed their first chords during those jam sessions. From the very start, TJ Osborne was the brother with the voice. He sang in a thick, low baritone, crooning like Johnny Cash, long before he was even old enough to drive. Older brother John, on the other hand, was the family's shredder, his fingers capable of down-home bluegrass licks, arena-worthy rock riffs, country twang, and everything in between. Combined, the two Osbornes could play everything from traditional country music to rock and roll, creating a broad, full-bodied sound that would eventually fill 11 songs on their major label debut, Pawn, just like Kristen.
Oh, yes, just like
Congratulations to the brothers Osborne, and guys, feel free to come on our show anytime.
That would be great.
Right?
We've had musical entertainment on the show before.
Right?
I would love to have them. I think the last
guys.
Chasing Verity was the last musicians to come in here.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I know.
Juliana.
I need to do better.
I know.
That's my New Year's resolution. More bands. If we can bring in those guys, we can call it quits after that.
That would be awesome.
We have arrived.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
At number 9, we have a game changer for the Anne Arundel County Police Department.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today's a huge day for the Anne Arundel County Police Department and thus for the region, because this endeavor that we're starting today isn't going to be for the benefit of solely the people of Anne Arundel County. In Maryland, we've talked a lot about how regionalization greatly improves our efforts at keeping folks safe. We've talked about synergies, and what we're starting here today is going to be one of the premier training facilities in the region.
One of many exciting groundbreakings this year, the $19 million Police Academy will provide state-of-the-art training for law enforcement. The new facility replaces a very old academy in Davidsonville built in 1976 from an old Nike missile site. Now, the 30,000 square foot academy will include a 17,000 square foot fitness center. A second phase will renovate the current facility for further training uses. Construction money was approved in fiscal year 2017, with more funding approved in this year's budget. This facility will be named in honor of Charles Butch Troyer, a retired county police officer who heroically prevented a hijacking at Baltimore Washington Thurgood Marshall Airport in 1974. It is scheduled to open in the summer of 2019. Now, of course, congratulations to Chief Altamari and the police department on their new digs.
I can't wait for us to go check this thing out.
Can I also add the sweet police videos that were made? I would like to say that's a little mini story. All the nice videos that we did here at Arundel TV. You know, your 360 helicopter ride.
You think it rises to that level?
I do. I mean, it was we really upped our game in the video and media division.
Yes, we
so
did.
Good job, Dave.
And we couldn't have done it without our wonderful police department and
our staff.
This thing is going to be sweet.
Yes.
Like, we're going to have to do the first-person shooter training and all that stuff when they open it up.
I'm available.
Okay, good.
I'm available.
Well, coming in at number 8, we have a big birthday for Fort George G. Meade.
Happy birthday.
Over the course of a century, Fort Meade has grown from a haphazard tent city, risen from open fields and little railroad villages to the pinnacle of U.S. national defense. It trained switchboard operators during World War I and housed the friendship of a general and future president. It was the jumping-off point for millions of U.S. soldiers who went off to defeat the Führer. And in the invention of new agencies that would change the world through intelligence gathering and cybersecurity. Today's Fort Meade is a critical part of our nation's military. It is also a part of our history.
The Army installation turned 100 years old this year with many celebrations, an ebook recounting the entire history, and a documentary, of course, produced by Arundel TV. Fort Meade was hastily assembled in 1917 as America rushed to war in Europe. The post started out as little more than tents and wooden buildings, with doughboys training using fake wooden weapons, Kristen, and horses instead of motorized tanks.
Wow.
Over the years, Fort Meade became home to the Signal Corps and the Hello Girls, who operated switchboards on the Western Front, as well as the Special Services Unit that trained celebrities such as heavyweight boxing champion Joe Louis, big band leader Glenn Miller, and actor Don Knotts. Millions of soldiers have passed through Fort Meade on their way to wars all around the world. Of course, in the modern era, Fort Meade housed the National Security Agency and most recently the U.S. Cyber Command. Thank you to all who served and continue to serve at Fort Meade. Happy birthday. We salute you and hoorah for a job well done.
Yes.
How about that one?
Yeah.
That's a good one, right?
Lots of exciting things that were happening at Fort Meade.
We're building up the happy news because it's not all happy news.
Oh,
this
man,
year, so
Dave.
I know. You can't avoid it.
Okay.
But we're happy for Fort Meade and
Yes.
100 more years to come.
Yes. Yes. At number 7, we move from history to the future as Live Hotel and Casino at Arundel Mills grows again. Live Casino has come such a long way since it opened in 2012, starting with slot machines and growing into table games such as poker, roulette, and my favorite, blackjack.
Hit me.
Hit me. Together with Arundel Mills, the venue hosts more than 24 million visitors a year and is Maryland's largest tourist destination. Construction began this year on a $200 million, 350,000 square foot luxury hotel located adjacent to the casino that features a 17-story hotel tower, 310 guest rooms, an event center, meeting spaces, a day spa salon, and David's Cafe. Wait a minute.
Different David.
Okay.
The guy with his name on the hotel.
All right. Plus a 24/7 dining establishment. Oh, that is David's Cafe.
That's correct.
That's okay. Yeah. Very nice. The project will also feature a 1,400-seat conference center that will offer free space for county high school graduations and other events, which I think is great.
Totally cool.
Yeah. Looks like Live hit the jackpot this year, Dave. Last fiscal year, it contributed $630 million to the state in revenue.
That's a nice chunk of change.
I'd like someone to contribute $630 million to me.
Seriously?
Hey.
And you know, it's nice to look back like that and see, you know, it was 2012 when they first built the casino. Yeah. It seems like it's been there forever. Like it's become such a presence in the county. And I think it's turned out really well. I mean, I enjoy going there. I go there probably at least a couple times a month.
The mall's great. I just did a lot of Christmas shopping there.
I'm always over there. So,
yeah.
I mean, I think it's great. I think they did a really good job.
And it really is interesting to me to see how big of a destination it is. Like, they have all these currency exchange booths in the mall now.
The #1 tourist destination in Maryland.
Insane.
Isn't that amazing?
Insane. It's just crazy. I thought it would have been the TV studio, especially when we're taping Week in Review.
Right here in Glen Burnie.
But I guess it's Maryland Live.
Glen Burnie.
Glen Burnie.
Well, let's take a look at the 6th biggest story of 2017. I call it United We Stand.
Why do adults yell and fight so much? When will they learn? Hey! Listen, people, we need to work together. We have to love each other, stand up to racism. Understand? Can I get an Anne Arundel United? Anne Arundel United! Not bad. We're going to practice this every day until you get it right. Anne Arundel United!
Well, as you know, we had some disturbing racial events in the county this year, including a Severna Park High School graduate stabbing Richard Collins III, a promising young Army officer, in College Park, and a county employee posting comments praising the act on social media. Later in the year, we had students from South River High School posting bullying message on Snapchat under the moniker White Lives Matter, dressed in a KKK hood made out of paper towels. Real geniuses. Good stuff, guys. County Executive Steve Shue responded with the creation of Anne Arundel United, an initiative to bring the community together and fight racism. This year, United has hit the ground running, training a group of ambassadors in conflict resolution, hosting community events, and most recently, organizing a charity basketball game at Annapolis High School to bring people together.
A successful charity basketball game.
It was awesome. Yeah. Good for them. Now, United has a lot coming in 2019, including a special celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at Anne Arundel Community College on January 16th, so mark your calendar for that. United's goal is to be prepared for and organized for a constructive response when controversial events occur in the community surrounding race, culture, religion, and gender. So hats off to County Executive Shue and our friend Derek Matthews for making this happen. It's a great start, and hopefully it'll make things better for everyone.
Such a great idea and way to implement it, and we love Derek. So,
yeah, I mean, the idea is if people are already know each other, then when these tough things come up, it's easier to talk about it. You know
I think it's so important. I'm glad we finally have something like that.
Yeah.
So that wraps up the first half of our top stories of 2017, and when we come back, we'll give you the other 5. Keep watching, and we'll be right back.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Welcome back. And we've run through 5 of the top stories of 2017, and now we'll bring you the top 5. Just an editorial note that it was really tough to pick the order of these stories. Some are happy, some are sad. You can make a really good argument to rank one higher than the others, but here we go. At number 5, we have a tragic story about gang murders in the county.
Every human being in this county matters to us. I'll say it again, we'll move heaven and earth to get you the help you need. If you live in fear, we want to help you stop it. We won't desert you, and we'll be there for you. That's my word as your chief of police.
This announcement was made in October when a tip led police to the body of Jennifer Rovira Lopez in a wooded area in Crownsville. That case led to several arrests and a big media push by the police department to keep the community on guard. Since then, they have identified 2 other victims, Jose Hernandez Portillo, 21, and Nearest Giovanni Bonilla Palacios, 17. There have been 8 arrests in the Lopez case, including the supposed leaders just a few weeks ago. Jorge Raul Guerra Castillo, 36, of Pensacola, Florida, and Dennis Rivas Aldana, 22, of Silver Spring, were charged on December 14th. The killings are believed to be associated with the El Salvadorian gang MS-13 that has had a presence in the Washington, D.C. area for years. The story has been really scary for the community in Annapolis, and hopefully police have made progress in stopping gang violence from happening in the future. Thanks to our officers and detectives, as well as prosecutors and federal law enforcement for their great work on these cases.
What
Scary.
a story. I mean, that is a story that I think years from now we're going to see television shows made about. And not that it should be glorified in any way, but it's so out of the ordinary. It's so strange for Anne Arundel County. And I know when I was in high school, and I went to high school in Montgomery County, MS-13 has had a presence for many years there. And my understanding of this is that there's like these outbreaks of violence, and then it kind of, you have to tamp it down and it goes away for a while. And I mean, hopefully that this is the end of that, you know, at least for a very long time. It's scary stuff.
Yeah, it really is.
Just don't, it's always the familiar refrain that would never happen here, right?
Exactly, we always think that, but we have to remain vigilant and we have to report anything that we think is out of the ordinary. Yeah.
At number 4, we have another tough one, Kristen.
Jeez.
Unfortunately, heroin overdoses in 2017 broke the century mark with 1,067 heading into the final week of the year.
So we changed these numbers weekly. So these boards used to be boards that raised awareness for drinking and driving. And unfortunately, we've had to make the change to make it a heroin overdose awareness board. It takes its toll on these officers. You know, we don't look at these as just numbers, so we look at these as people.
We had 152 deaths this year from overdoses, and that number is sure to rise before the final tally is in. In 2016, there were 117 deaths. These tragic numbers come as the county has increased treatment options, awareness, and resources to fight the opioid epidemic. You have to wonder what these numbers would be like if the county wasn't fighting so hard every day to reverse them. We started the Safe Stations program, which allows people to check into fire stations, no questions asked, to get help. We held monthly community Not My Child meetings. We even put up billboards telling people to call our 311 system for immediate help from a counselor. We added treatment facilities and have another one coming online in 2019. Jurisdictions everywhere are trying everything, and we've been at the cutting edge. Hopefully in the new year, we will see things change for the better. And if you're watching this and you're struggling from substance abuse disorder, please call someone right now. Check into a safe station. If you know someone who needs help, reach out and try to get them to seek help.
The Safe Stations program has really been an excellent thing.
Yeah, it's helped over 100 people in just 6 months or so.
It's comforting to know that there's that sort of resource and that we are trying to provide even more to get folks help. So
we're doing everything.
But
the experts are saying that we just haven't reached that peak yet.
Yeah.
And that this is just natural. You know, it's at some point it's got to slow down, you would think. So hopefully that will happen this year.
Yeah. All right, let's move now to the top 3 stories, Dave. At number 3, we have a big moment for the city of Annapolis.
So this is what is amazing about this country. This is what's amazing about this city. And this is what's amazing about the democratic process. That a guy with a funny accent like this can come into town with a couple of $100 in his pocket, open a coffee shop, and then 25 years later, be the 137th mayor of Annapolis.
That is our new Annapolis Mayor, Gavin Buckley. He pulled an upset victory in the primary against State Senator John Astle, and then another surprise beating incumbent Mike Pantelides in November. Political pundits might be scratching their heads because Pantelides beat an incumbent as an upstart newcomer just 4 years ago. And now Buckley won his first political office by a huge margin. In 2018, Buckley is promising a more inclusive city that tackles big issues such as public housing, crime, and economic development. He has been the driving force behind the revitalization of West Street and, of course, all those great festivals centering around music, chocolate, and fringes, a few of my favorite things.
You love fringes.
That's right. Now we'll find out if he can translate all of that into a successful run as mayor. Congratulations to Mayor Buckley, and we'll see if this race was a precursor to elections coming in 2018 and beyond. No matter what party you are, this should be pretty fun to watch, huh, Dave?
I think it will be. I think, you and I have known Gavin for many years now.
Yes.
And we know that the guy is always up for a challenge. And he'll tell you himself, he comes up with some wacky ideas sometimes, but he pulls it off, a good majority of the time.
Yes.
His restaurants are great. We all like his restaurants and things. So it'll be interesting to see. It's kind of like, it's interesting without getting too partisan in this conversation. He's kind of like Donald Trump. I'm going to show you where I'm going with that.
All right.
Well, he's a successful businessman who's never been involved in politics.
Okay.
And he comes in and he runs against a candidate that everybody knows, everybody's familiar with them. They really don't have, high negatives or anything like that. And you could argue Hillary Clinton did, but, in that way, it's similar that we really don't know how he's going to react to having the job.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how all that plays out. I personally, as a professional political pundit, don't think that election is going to have any bearing on the elections that are coming up. I think it was just everybody loves Gavin in the city of Annapolis, small town, and that's how a small town works. It's everybody knows each other and they like Gavin. And
well,
they're
then
voting for Gavin.
it's also interesting to see how it'll be for someone who hasn't had that much political experience, but also has everyone, loving him. How
right,
he'll
when
have
he does
to
something
respond.
they don't like.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Well, here we are, Kristen, all the way to number two. And this is a big one for Anne Arundel County. It's a happy one,
Thank
too.
goodness.
I know you want a happy one.
Yes.
Ready, Julie? 1, 2, 3, throw.
There we go.
That's right, everybody. Crofton High School is born.
Go Kragans.
Go Kraken. That's, in case you're wondering, that's our
guess to what the mascot will be. Crofton
Kraken.
Kraken.
We like alliteration. The
Yeah.
Kraken.
Ah.
So it's been 30 or 40 years in the making, depending on who you ask. One thing is for sure, and that is that 4 years ago, it didn't seem possible. County Executive Shue was talking about it, but everyone else seemed to think, not gonna happen. Well, now it is. Construction has started on the new Crofton High School, and doors are now set to open in the fall of 2020. If your child is in middle school right now, there will be no more splitting up friends between Arundel and South River. This is the first time the county is adding a completely new high school to its arsenal since 1982, before Kristen was born.
Of course.
The $125 million project is expected to accommodate 1,700 students in the 276,000 square feet of space. Whew, that was a mouthful. That's
that was a lot of numbers.
How about them apples,
How about
Kristen?
them apples?
Huh?
Yes. Yay,
Yes.
Yay, Crofton.
Did you ever witness this occurring where I know you're Davidsonville?
Yeah, but
where
we
the
had a
kids-
huge population issue with overcrowding in the school at South River because they were dividing up Crofton, students going to Arundel and students coming into South River.
Right.
Of course, we welcome everyone, but it'll be nice for them to have their own space and make sure that those classrooms can get back down to a manageable size.
And South River is up there as one of our most crowded high schools in the county.
It is.
So it needs a little release
It
valve.
needs to. So this is great news as an alum.
Where
and
did you go
as
to
a
middle
future
school?
student. I went to Central in Edgewater.
Okay, so imagine you're in Central Middle School.
Manageable
you're
size,
about
like
to go out
400
for the
in your
summer,
grade.
You're sitting at the lunch tables with your friends, and they're like, "You, Lagana, you go to that school, and little Tommy, Lagana's best friend, you go to that school."
Yeah. Oh,
And
that's
then you all
horrible.
cry.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
I miss Tommy.
You miss Tommy.
I
You don't want that
I
to
miss
happen.
Tommy. Yeah.
Right?
So this is just great news for the county, and I'm very excited.
Great story. I
Very
think
excited.
everybody in that area is like pumped up. For
Oh
this.
yeah,
This is
absolutely.
good stuff.
So. And now we have reached the moment that you've all been waiting for, the #1 story of 2017, and this story has everything. It's actually not just a local story. It was ripped from national headlines and matched determination and community with tragedy. Check out this clip from ABC2 News.
The woman from Maryland who was shot in the Las Vegas massacre is still improving. This week, Tina Frost spoke her first words since the shooting back on October 1st. Her family says she is out of intensive care now at Johns Hopkins. She's actually eating solid food, even playing a little bit of soccer with her father in the hallways there in the hospital. We've talked about what a great soccer player she was back at Arundel High School. The fact that she's now able to speak could mean doctors are better able to assess any possible brain damage that she had after being shot in her right eye in Las Vegas. A GoFundMe page set up to help with Frost medical bills has now raised nearly $600,000.
That's right, Dave. You won't find a bigger local story this year than the story of Tina Frost. The soccer standout from Arundel High School was one of the innocent victims of that terrible shooting rampage in Las Vegas at a country music festival that left 58 people dead and hundreds more injured. As the nation was stunned by this event, we learned that Tina was clinging to life and the community leapt into action. Her GoFundMe page was started and many of us started checking it daily for updates on Tina. Doctors were confounded that she survived and continue to see her make incredible progress. Her smile has touched so many people, Dave, and it's amazing to see her strength and the determination of her family and friends as they lift her up. We hope they'll have even more great news in 2018.
Yes.
Go, Tina.
Tina,
you're amazing.
Would you argue with that being the #1 story
Not at all.
here?
Not at all.
Okay.
Our hearts
good,
go out to Tina. We're, you know why? Because at the heart of it, at the heart of what goes down in Anne Arundel County, we are a community, and this is one of our own.
Yeah,
so,
and it was one of those, we've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
When something happens and people need to come together and step up, this county is big time with that.
And that's what happened. This was a national story, and that's the other one I meant to include in my top 10.
Absolutely.
International,
well, you were
national.
holding it for the end.
Yes.
You didn't want to tip people.
It was the mass shooting.
Some people try to guess what the #1 story is, and we want to keep them guessing until the very end so you watch the whole show.
Well, I also have a quick top 5 in the entertainment industry.
Oh, okay.
So, of course, we know the #MeToo movement also sparked the Hollywood harassment scandal, everyone outing everyone for that. So that was one of them.
And Matt Lauer, bye-bye.
Yes.
Harrison Keeler, bye-bye.
Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein was the first one, bye-bye.
Yes, yes.
And on and on and on.
So that was one. The Patriots won the Super Bowl, but Lady Gaga is the real winner of the Super Bowl. That halftime performance was incredible, something people are still talking about.
Take that, Tom Brady.
I put that in my top 5. Beyonce, hey bae, she gave birth to twins.
Oh.
That was huge.
Huge news right
She was
there.
also performing right up until the point, and everyone can still recall performances on Grammys and MTV where she had the big old belly and she was still killing it.
I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Yeah.
What did she name the twins?
I don't know. I don't know.
Chuck, what did she name the twins?
I have no idea. We don't know. We don't know. But she had twins.
What was the first kid's name?
Blue Ivy.
Blue Ivy.
I don't know the other ones.
What?
So
maybe she named them, Patsy and Joan.
Maybe. We had the engagement of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
Oh, yes. You know what? That is some earth-shattering news right there.
That is.
Woo. Thank God.
Yes.
Thank God Prince Harry finally found someone.
Yes.
Now we can all move on with our lives.
We can. The Kendall Jenner Pepsi ad.
Yes.
That was tragic. That's my tragic story in my top 5 entertainment. And then finally, Tay Swift came back. She had one of the most amazing marketing promo reels and all of her campaign stuff for her new album. She made her Twitter completely dark. She took down her website. She started slowly leaking some stuff out. She used the snake, which everyone was referring to her as on Twitter.
I missed every second of this.
You need to go back and check this out because as someone who's interested in marketing and promo, you would just, this was a brilliant campaign.
Enough with the Tay.
So she's back out now with her new album.
Is that the #1
Reputation.
story?
It's not my #1. Those weren't in any particular order.
All right. Well,
I'd probably say the Hollywood scandals is probably the top one in the entertainment. So.
Yeah, but that's not fun.
It's not fun. Lady Gaga.
Tay-Tay's more fun, but God.
Everyone's talking about Prince Harry right now. So,
Prince Harry will be #1 on that list. For
So.
sure. And of course, we'll have the wedding, we'll have all that. 2018 is going to be all about that.
I mean, there is one wedding that's more important than Prince Harry's.
This girl right here. I know.
Next time you see me, I'll be a Mrs. So.
Unbelievable. wow. We're going to have to change the show.
It's going to be crazy.
In some way. Well, before we go, let's take a look at the amazing bloopers from this year featuring ourselves and some of our friends in the Week in Review team.
There can't be any bloopers of me. I'm perfect. Yeah. Welcome back. The Terp...
I hate when you do that to me.
Because I want to get it one day where we keep going and your face is like this. The Terp men's basketball. Terps men's.
Wow.
Terps men's basketball.
That's what you get for trying to catch me off guard.
You will receive training as a firefighter.
The Run and Fun Walk raises money to make recreational Please tune in again next week for what?
Oh man, we were so.
You can also find all kinds of other wonderful.
Thanks, Michelle. Great event. Harmony Health. Man. Even easier. Just go to the Google. Sorry. Even easier. Just go to the Google.
I guess you could say roundabout way of, or. Thanks, guys. Today, Thanks, guys. Today I'm here with. Oh, man.
I'm here with Joannette Smallwood and Suzette Kinder. I'm here with Joannette Smallwood and Suzette Kotenhofen. All right.
There's
That's
more.
right. That's right. The budget also includes pay.
Yeah. That's very sad.
So, tell us a little bit more about.
Were you not ready?
I wasn't ready.
Where were you? Volunteer commissions all over the state are gathering feedback from women on the issues that matter to them and reporting back to
Thanks, guys. This is like an exclusive, and I'm a little excited about this because I'm here with a local celebrity, Travis. Oh my God! I can't believe it. No, Pastrana. Thanks, guys. Today I have an exclusive here. I'm with a local celebrity, Travis.
The Office of Emergency Management is urging everyone to be weather-ready.
Nancy Shrum is in Arnold to talk about an important. Sorry. He will get to work here on Anne Arundel. Oh my God.
We need chocolate on the set, please.
I'm sorry.
We need chocolate stat.
County Executive Steve Shue took a moment to. Oh my God, what is wrong with me today?
That wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode and archive episodes online anytime on Facebook or YouTube by simply search.
There were canine demonstrations, fire trucks, helicopters, police fighters.
Take a look at our community calendar for immense.
Well, I bet you didn't know that senior centers offer English classes to. Why can't I say that?
Speaking of transportation, Christian. This week, County Executive Shue and Annapolis Mayor Mike Ant.
Taxpayers do not actually build the school. Instead, the county and state provide operating money they would typically use for elementary school, and the contract school is built using that money. The county and state provide operating money they would use to run a typical.
Sarah! Hello, I'm Dave Abrams.
And I'm Brandy Francis. Welcome to Anne Arundel County Week in Review. In this episode, we will tell you what Anne Arundel United is.
Okay, Sarah Gannon.
In this episode, we will tell you what Anne Arundel County United is doing to fight racism. You made me stop.
Oh my God, that's the first time Chuck ever told someone to do it again, ever.
Oh, it made me feel really good about it, Dave.
Wow.
Now, Dave.
Yes, Brandy? Well, that wraps up this weekend of Week in Review. Wow.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not perfect.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Nobody's perfect, Kristen.
No.
And, can we tone it down on the potty mouth a little bit?
Okay, like I'm the only one. Talk to Sarah Gannon.
We're looking at you, Sarah.
We're looking at you.
And by the way, in 2018, the Grizzly Adams will be gone. I will be nice and baby-faced again.
But yeah, we thank everybody who's worked hard on Week in Review. Chuck, especially.
Chuck Duncan,
Chuck
shout
Duncan,
out.
and all
Good
of
job,
our
buddy.
field reporters. So thank you.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
And that's a wrap for 2017. Thanks for watching all 52 episodes we brought to you this year, and come back again next year. You can watch this episode and archive episodes online anytime on Facebook or YouTube by simply searching for Arundel TV. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news from around the county, and we'll see you next time in 2018.
Happy New Year!
Old acquaintance
Dance be forgot and never brought to mind.